The Seltos' turbo petrol engine has lived in the shadows of its magnificent sibling, the diesel. With the facelift, the turbo petrol engine was upgraded with 100cc and 20 horsepower more. Those numbers are a distraction. The big change here isn't more excitement, it's more usability. This turbo petrol engine now feels like a flagship. It's a great all-rounder with confidence and ease in the way it works. It can be enjoyed with the simpler IMT transmission and can be thoroughly enjoyed with the new dual-clutch automatic. So if you've been thinking about getting a turbo petrol Seltos, your decision has become easy. Although there are a couple of reasons you might not want to get one. Saying no to the X-Line is going to be hard. That matte paint effect gives it a stealthy look. It also makes it feel more premium. Just for this paint finish, usually you'd have to pay lakhs of rupees more. To add to that stealthy mood, a lot of chrome bits have also been blacked out, like the surround for the grille and the little trim on top of the headlamps. The dual exhausts at the rear are still in chrome though. The alloy wheels are shared with the GTX Plus and look a bit flashy for this mood. This isn't a car that wants to go running barefoot through the jungles. It wants to do its running on the treadmill in air conditioning with proper trainers on. Either ways, this is a handsome and slick car. The design for the tail lamps has grown on me. That wiring diagram kind of effect looks cool. The grille though hasn't grown on me. It looks like there's a mashup of details there, which I frankly find uncomfortable. On the inside too, there are some overdone bits, like the quilting for the seats. It's supposed to be a classy touch, and so it should be toned down. The rest of the cabin though is impressive. It feels premium on the inside. It's the design for the dashboard, it's the finish for the materials, and that black and grey color combination makes it feel that much more special. It is classy. If your focus is comfort, you'll realize that the Seltos' focus is city use. The backseat is set a bit low, which reduces the under-thigh support required to keep you comfy for longer drives. 6-footers will be most comfortable in the driver's seat because that's set a bit lower than the front passenger seat. If they had to sit in the back, they wouldn't complain about headroom. There's enough, even with the panoramic sunroof. But you do have seat back recline adjustment and sunshades to help you settle down. On longer journeys though, you will wish that there was a bit more room to stretch out and that the seats were more supportive. On the other hand, the Seltos' wow quotient has stepped up. Its feature list is richer than before. You get dual zone climate control. Aside from the front ventilated seats, the driver's seat is also powered now. There are twin digital displays for the higher variants which are paired with excellent Bose sound systems. There's UV cut glasses and an air purifier. The safety feature list has also grown longer. The Seltos packs 6 airbags and electronic safety aids like ESC, VSM, tire pressure monitoring system, hill hold as standard. Rear parking sensors are standard as well, while front parking sensors are available on all variants except for the base. Sadly, the 360-degree camera is available only on the GTX and the X-Line. The Seltos feels even more classy now because of the way it drives. This bigger and more powerful turbo petrol has a casual confidence about it, which makes it easy and enjoyable in slow city traffic. Turbo lag doesn't get in the way. Its acceleration is smooth and strong from low revs. It's actually quick enough that for the smoothest city commute, I would drive it in the eco mode, where the throttle response is a bit calmer and the automatic gearbox is just a bit laid back when making downshifts. It lets the engine do the heavy lifting, which it can. The older turbo petrol engine was not as effortless nor as smooth. The engine is strong enough now at these lower speeds that you could happily pick the IMT for everyday commuting. It is smooth and convenient. It's also simpler, lighter, and cheaper. The Seltos is also fun. This engine still loves to rev, but it has a bit more power in the way it does it. It feels more serious. It's all the more fun with the new dual clutch gearbox, which has made a step up. This engine and gearbox combination is the benchmark in the segment. It's quick, smooth, and sophisticated. It's my default recommendation for the Seltos. The IMT isn't, because it's not an all-rounder. If you're an enthusiast, it won't cut it. That's because when you are trying to make quick shifts, the IMT does cut into the flow of power. Scarier still, if you're downshifting aggressively, expecting engine braking to slow you down, this system can leave you freewheeling, as it will prevent the lower gear from being selected to protect the engine. That can be a little worrying. The other worry with the turbo petrol is its fuel efficiency in the city. In heavy traffic, getting 9 kmpl is normal. It can get better if the traffic is more flowing. It'll go up to about 13 kmpl. On the highway, it does much better, managing between 14 to 17 kmpl, which isn't bad. The fuel efficiency figure will drop when you're having fun, which you can with this Seltos. The engine will slingshot you around bends. The tires will grip and hold a line. You'll wish that the brakes had more power and immediacy, but your focus will be on the road surface, because bumps in the middle of the corners can toss this Seltos around. The suspension has made a step forward with the facelift, but it's not classy. Nowhere near as classy as the transformation under the hood. This is now tolerable with those larger 18-inch wheels over broken roads and potholes. Its tendency to crash and clatter is still there, but it's been toned down. This car is best enjoyed on smooth roads in the city. This is the one reason why I would step down to the HTX Plus. With its smaller 17-inch rims, it just feels more enjoyable on more roads. It's the one that feels more SUV. So why shouldn't you buy the turbo petrol Seltos? Firstly, if your focus is to have this as a city SUV, then you should look at the lower powered 1.5-liter petrol with the CVT automatic transmission. It's smooth, convenient, more efficient, and cheaper too. The only catch there is Kia isn't offering it in the HTX Plus variant. Second, the diesel. This would have been the default recommendation. Now it's priced on par with the petrol. It's smooth, punchy, and efficient. But after the BS 6.2 emission updates, its city friendliness is a bit lower. And with doubts around the future of diesel, it's not going to make sense for you unless you plan to clock 20,000-30,000 kilometers in months, not years. So it might seem that the turbo petrol has inherited the top dog status, but it's also earned it.
Talk to me and tell me all that you've seen, all the colors